Hey. Yeah, I'm not sure what angle really to. We're gonna have to keep like moving around. I need to set it like over there. Like on that tripod maybe, but I don't have a way to secure it. I don't know. We'll see if I can figure it out here. I don't know. See, I need to be able to see like that. I mean.
Oh, just now. I mean, for now.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll stay or fall.
Here.
I think it'll stay as long as we don't bump it or nothing. What?
Now.
Yeah. It'll stay. You'll have to use your phone for the chat or whatever, but. Good morning, my Ubuntu. Huh? It won't fall. As long as nobody bumps it, it'll be fine.
There's air.
Alright, well, so right now I'm canning some pickles, so thought I would come on and just say hey. I've got a video that's edited right now, it needs to upload. Huh? Yeah, you still can't really see the counter or what I'm doing, but. Oh wait, where's your phone? I need to look up the brine recipe on my old YouTube video.
I think it looks sad.
I just have to look at one of my old videos real quick for the recipe. Okay. Three cups of water. That's great. Terrific.
What's this?
One.
Wait.
That's for the GoPro.
Oh, it's not. Maybe we can use this for
How's it gonna hold it? Oh shit. I was looking at what you're doing.
Hmm.
That it's not going to work for a phone. The phone will be fine as long as nobody bumps it. Okay, 3 cups of water. 1/3 cup of salt. Okay, vinegar is supposed to be 1 cup, but I'm going to reduce it down to 3/4 of a cup. And then a tablespoon of dill. Okay, where's that dill? Now this dill is good and not rotten, so okay, you can go ahead and put it back on the video so you can see the comments. And then we'll also, here in a little bit, when I'm done with this, we will talk about, there's like I don't know if it's just me on my feed, on like TikTok and YouTube and stuff, but there's like a huge number of people, especially ones that are here in the Philippines, that keep saying like America is so terrible and the Philippines is so good. There's one in particular that brags about living in a hut, and he brags about like how little money he can live on. But the Nipa hut that he lives in, he pays $345 a month in rent, and I'm like, the 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment / house we had in Dipolog was only $150 a month. So I don't, and it had air conditioning. I don't understand $345 to live in a Nipa hut, but
I'm confused. I thought the fridge and stove were on the left side of the sink. Must be inverted video.
yeah, it's backwards from what you're used to seeing, because it's the front facing camera, so it's flipped around. Yeah, so like Alona right now is standing on my right side, but
Can't stay long. We're in the middle of a very bad cold snap with 35 and 56 centimeters or 14 liters more.
yeah, I heard about the storm going across America, but I haven't heard like any details or anything. I just knew that like people were preparing for it. All right, there's the brine.
And it's currently around 21.11 Celsius.
It's what?
21.11 Celsius.
Oh, -1 Fahrenheit. Yeah. In the Midwest, we're used to seeing it in the sub-zero a few times a year. Normally, it's not that cold for a long period of time, but I mean, I've seen it, -8, -10. I don't think I've seen it much colder than maybe like -12 or something like that. No, but I mean, that's cold enough, so for sure. I can remember when I was a teenager putting all my, insulated coveralls and coat and hat and gloves and all this. We had a hay field that was, in a hollow, and I would go out to feed cows in the morning. It'd be right at 5 a.m. so it's still dark outside, and wind would be whipping up that hayfield, and me carrying, the square bales of hay, one in each hand, halfway up this hayfield feeding cows. Like, buddy, I'm telling you, I've been cold, that's for sure.
1 minute later and check out the very short video I uploaded after the show. In case you may like this song. We're supposed to stay below 0 for 90.
So, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that's one thing, like, it's probably, I don't know, it's probably 82 degrees right now and sunny. So going back to America, February, 17th, or I get there February 18th, it's going to be quite a shock going from, 86 degrees and sunny to, 5 degrees and cold. So yeah, it's going to be pretty crazy. Okay, where's those red pincher lamps? Oh boy. Really, when you can stuff, you're supposed to replace the rubber seal section each time, but I've always had pretty good luck using them several times. It's not that big a deal. It really helps if you boil them first a little bit to soften up the rubber, but I mean, I found that they seal pretty well on their own anyway.
You can bring water because the motor that is supposed to borrow is broken.
It's okay. If we need to, we can go back down there and get more water. That was pretty easy, so.
Yeah.
I'm not that lazy. I mean, I'm lazy, but not that lazy. I did want to get into the whole America versus Philippines thing. It's like some kind of a trend. Like, I don't know if it's just me or what, but it seems like all of a sudden everyone is like saying like how terrible America is and all this stuff. Like, and I agree, like some of the stuff that's happened recently might be pretty bad, but that's in select parts of the nation. Like, I'm sure the town I grew up in, even, most of the state I grew up in, Missouri, I'm sure it's pretty much exactly the same as when I left. I mean, Missouri has always been a state of like gun-toting rednecks. So you basically have one ideology. You've got the odd Democrat here and there, or liberal or whatever, but it's not like other places in the country. It's not people fighting each other. It's like almost everybody, especially that lives in the town that I'm from, pretty much thinks the same way. So it's not, we were all raised the same, to have the same beliefs and all that. So I don't know. But people saying that the Philippines is better than America, I'm telling you what, that's BS. I mean, I don't care what problems you have in America or whatever. You can't say that the Philippines is better than America.
Maybe in a way the cost of living.
Yeah, cost of living is better, but at the same time, you're not living the same life. It's cheaper, but it's less quality. So that makes sense. It's not, and it's true that you can live an American type lifestyle here if you're in some, like, outside of Manila or some big place like that, but it's still not exactly the same. I mean, we just have so many convenience items in America, like dishwashers. You can buy a dishwasher here, but it's so uncommon. Nobody knows how to install them here probably. Nobody knows how to work on them if they break. You know, you can buy one and they're probably very expensive, and then you get it shipped to you. You have to install it because nobody around you probably knows how. And then if anything breaks on it, you either have to fix it yourself or just replace it. Because there are certain items here that people just aren't used to using at all. I mean, it's just, there's so many convenience items in America that you can't compare a life here to a life there. Now, I'm not saying all that to say that it's miserable here and you can't be happy. It's different. It's not, you know, it's not worse here for sure. But, I mean, in some ways it is, in some ways it's better. So, I just can't understand the people saying like, oh, I live in a nipa hut in the jungle and I just lay in the hammock all day with no air conditioning and I'm fine. Like, I guess there are people like that, maybe, but I would think after 2, 3, 4, 5 years of that, it would start to get old after a while. It might feel relaxing and like a change of pace for the first 6 months, but after a while, the Philippines can start to wear you down a little bit. I mean, I can tell you that from personal experience. When I came here on vacation, I thought it was the best country in the world. When I came here to live for the first 6 months, I was like, man, this is amazing. Then after I was here about a year, I'm like, this is starting to become not so great. Like, and now I'm to the point where it's like, if I had enough money, I would stay here. I wouldn't go back to America because I do like it. And especially if you live your life to where you don't have to go and do like a bunch of government things. Like in the last 6 months, I have been inundated with having to do, you know, title paperwork, building permit paperwork, this process, that process, you know, building the house, ordering supplies, because I was the contractor or the, you know, general contractor or whatever, the foreman basically. So I had to go and get materials and deal with all that and shipping and then marriage license stuff and exit clearance and all these processes that I've crammed into the last 6 months have pretty much just about worn me down with the Philippines, like government processes. That's really where the Philippines is in a deficit, is their paperwork or their official administrative processes is effing horrible. I will look at these comments in just a second. I have to.
It is very cold here. Even I have dishwasher in the US, I don't use it. Good morning from you. Your question, how you met your wife?
Online, like most people do now. But when I first met her, she didn't want to talk often enough. So normally it's the Filipina bugging the foreigner, but I had a job where I was basically the boss. I mean that, you know, I had my own office, I did my own thing, and there was only one person at that facility that was above me. So there really wasn't anyone to answer to. So I could literally be on my phone all day and all night. And I wanted to be, but you know, she didn't seem like she was that into like talking that much. Like she would talk like maybe an hour or something like that. And then she would, oh, like my kids want to use the phone, so she would give the kids the phone and all this stuff. So after just a few days of that, I was like, okay, this person doesn't have enough time or whatever. Just I'm done with that and move on to something else. Someone that has more time available. Then that person ended up not having enough time. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, I thought Filipinos had like all this free time and like all this crap. And even now that I see how you live, I still don't understand how you didn't have more free time. Like, because you weren't working, so you were here, but like, so I don't know. Anyway.
Before I have lots of survey. But now,
Right, but during the time that you were here,
Yeah.
even you would talk like an hour, and then you just give the phone to the kids or whatever. But
it's just like anywhere there's phones.
there's what? Pros and cons.
Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, if you're just going off of living standard alone, you cannot compare the Philippines to America, because in America, unless you're talking about crackheads and homeless people, even poor people live a more luxurious life than even middle class people in the Philippines. Okay? Alona's mom, Alona's family, I would say are middle class. They're not extremely poor, but they're not wealthy either. But her mom's house doesn't have like closing windows, and it's like open at the top, and there's gaps and everything everywhere. The inside is not finished, the ceiling is exposed, there's no air con, there's no running water in the house. Even poor people in America that like live in trailer houses out in the woods have running water. Most of them have air conditioning and central heat, you know, get either gas or electric stoves. Like, they're not outside cooking on fires and stuff like that. So you really can't compare living standards in America to the Philippines, because even poor people in America live a more luxurious life than even middle class people in the Philippines. I mean, how many poor people have 5 or 6 vehicles outside in the driveway? They might not be the best vehicles ever, but most Filipinos here can't afford a single vehicle. Like, they can barely get like a used motorbike or whatever to drive around, much less some car or truck. Like, let me see if I can read some comments. That's the problem though. I love the cold. I'm built for cold weather. I mean, I can't tell you how much I enjoy cold weather. It's just, the only thing I don't like is like, I love to swim and be in water and stuff like that. So the summer, I do enjoy summertime also, but I really do miss the wintertime. You know, to go outside and not have to sweat. You know, you can work and do physical stuff without having to just be pouring sweat or sunburn. Like, I don't know. I'm built for the cold. I remember when I was a teenager, 13, 14 years old, you know, I would be out in the woods with snow on the ground in the wintertime, 25 or 30 degrees during the day, splitting wood with no shirt on in the wintertime when it's 30 degrees outside. So that's, you know, I've gotten accustomed to the heat somewhat. I still sweat all the time basically, but, you know, it doesn't really bother me all that much like it used to. Well, as soon as this brine starts to boil, then we can go ahead and get this show on the road. It just kind of bothers me a little bit when people come to the Philippines. They've lived here like 4 months and they claim it to be way better than America, and it's just like, there's parts of it that are, you know, the freedom of doing whatever you want in traffic and going as fast as you want, and like no speed limits, no stoplights, that thing. I mean, all that's really nice, and I'm gonna miss that. But I mean, I don't know. There's lots of things in America that I miss also, mostly the food. I mean, I don't know what everyone else's opinion is, but I've heard other foreigners say, and I agree, that Philippine food is, for the most part, terrible. It just is. I'm sorry to say that, but it's not good. Like, Thai food, food in Thailand is a lot better. Chinese food is better. I mean, it's not all Asian food. It's just the specific. I think it's the specific vegetables and spices that the Filipinos use. It doesn't taste good. It almost, it's not like a soap taste like cilantro, but they use like a lemongrass and like some other things that just, it has a bad flavor to me, but they use it in everything. So it makes everything taste not great to me. Not only that, but when they cook meat, I don't know why they do this, but they'll take a whole chicken and then they'll take a big ass hatchet or a cleaver and just chop the hell out of it, or a big piece of pork and just chop the hell out of it. And there's like shards of bone in it, so when you're eating adobo, like when I cook adobo, I debone everything and it's all boneless meat. But when Filipinos do it like Filipino style, you have to like gnaw the meat out of bones and spit the bones out. You know, you'll see people at like parties where there's food eating with their hands, and then they're spitting on their plate like big pieces of bone and gristle. Instead of just hacking the hell out of it, why not just cut the meat off the bone? Why do they do that? Why don't they just cut the meat off the bone and then you can eat?
The bone is, I mean, we like to eat the bone, like we, see that, like there is have travel your way to work, that sucks.
Shovel your way to work. Well, I really don't know anything about that, because where I'm from, we get snow, but it's very rare that we get snow over 6 inches deep. So it's, I had a 4-wheel drive Silverado, and I can't remember the last time I couldn't go somewhere. I mean, just with a simple 4-wheel drive pickup with a good set of tires, I mean, in southern Missouri, you're never stuck. I mean, even with ice or whatever, I can't remember the last time where I just looked outside and went, well, I guess I can't go anywhere today. I mean, that doesn't really happen where I'm from. Now, I know up north they get feet of snow and all that, but I've never lived up there, so I don't have that experience.
Filipino food made with American ingredients is great.
What?
Filipino food made with American ingredients is great.
Yeah, I will agree that some of the foods would be good, like the beef. What is it, bulalo?
Yeah,
Yeah, like a beef soup or whatever. That does taste good, and it would be a lot better with a better cut of beef that didn't include bones, or at least if it did include bones, then at least like include more meat attached to the bone, and then cook it until it's so tender that it falls off the bone. That way, when you're getting the soup out of the thing, you can get meat and the bone stays in the soup. Like,
that's what bulalong means. I mean,
yeah, but I don't like that.
Then you don't like, you need to stop eating bulalong.
Well, I mean, the flavor is good. It's just that I'm really picky about the texture of stuff. I only like really tender, soft meat. So, like, if I cook pork chops and they're chewy, I don't like that. When I cook meat, I have to cook it to be tender. I don't like sitting there chewing on a bunch of meat. And the way they cook pork here, a lot of times, it's like chewing on a piece of leather.
Bro, why did you move to the Philippines?
I moved to the Philippines because, honestly, I was tired of working so much and being by myself. I'm basically a natural provider. And one of my children had already moved out. The next child was almost ready to move out. I was making pretty good money, but all I ever did was go to work and go home. Like I didn't have friends to go talk to. You can ask her. I literally would wake up in the morning at my house and just go to work, even if it was early and not time to be at work yet. I would still just go there. And then when I came home, I would literally sit in my house and do nothing. So yeah, I had a lot of money, but I didn't spend a lot. But at the same time, I didn't really have much of a life either. And so I came here in search of basically some kind of fun, some kind of purpose in life. And so now that I have people to provide for, I feel like I have a purpose again, and I can go back to work and enjoy some of the things that I miss about America, but also have a solid purpose. You know, my purpose is to finish this house here, get everything spruced up and nice, get all of the features, air conditioning, everything completed, make sure they have, you know, good quality food to eat and clothes to wear and money to spend or whatever. So I came in search of a purpose basically, and I found that.
You can find all your kids in the back of the pickup and go to the lake, river, or ocean. In the U.S., they will arrest you for that.
That's not true. In Missouri, I don't know about everywhere in the country, but in Missouri, if you're 18 years or older, you can ride in the back of a truck. Now, if you're a child, no, you can't ride in the back of a truck anymore. You could when I was a kid, but you can't now. But if you're 18 years or older, you can still ride in the back of a pickup truck.
What I said, kids.
Yeah. But you just put all the kids inside the truck. Most trucks now are 4-door quad cab anyway. You pile all the kids inside the truck, and all the adults that aren't driving sit in the bed of the truck, and you can take 12 or 15 people still. Okay, I'm going to let that boil just another minute and then,
Okay.
yeah. That's okay. Thank you.
Oh, I have 57 views.
That is a good question though, and I would expect more people to ask that question, because there's a lot of complaints I have about the Philippines, so it's a valid question to ask, why the hell did you go there? So I appreciate that question. I hope I answered it appropriately.
In the Midwest, still okay. In the U.S., but anywhere else is no good.
Well, that's my problem with a lot of people's complaint about America. On one hand, I can see their point of they were born and raised in a certain state of the country, and they don't feel like they should have to leave their home to find freedom or whatever. I just happen to be born and raised in the Midwest in southern Missouri, and it just happens to be one of those like free areas of the country still, more free, with low cost of living and, you know, relaxed laws and things like that. But honestly, if you're not happy in the area that you live in America, there's other places to live. If you're in California, move the hell out. I don't know why people have so many complaints, and then you find out they live in Massachusetts or freaking California or whatever. There's a whole center area of the country that's wide open and available. Thousands and thousands of acres of available land and people still live miles apart from their nearest neighbor. There's plenty of room for everybody.
Can you communicate with your GF in her language?
In her language,
Yeah.
me want beeline.
No, just
Can I touch your toys?
no. You just know one word, not you know.
Yeah, well, not really. No, I can't.
You just know a.
I can look at her and she knows what I want, though. What do I want?
You just know a bad words.
I know the important words.
Ah, okay.
Mayan Boontag, good morning. Mayan Hapoon, good afternoon. I know Squealahan, school. I know Itlog is egg. Olan is rain.
Ulan.
Yeah. Oling is charcoal.
Yeah.
I know a lot of words, but I don't know. The way that they connect words is so weird that I can't understand it. And she or her sister that's a teacher, no one can explain to me the rules on using the connecting words like nah, like the ng and the ang, all these connecting words. It confuses me. I have no idea.
Bro, you are blessed to have a loyal, loving, caring wife. That's
Future wife.
Are you ready for this cold winter?
I'm looking forward to the cold. You don't have to pay for air conditioning. You just go outside and then when you get cold you just go back inside. Oh yeah, in the wintertime in America, I close all my heater vents to where there's no heat being pumped into my bedroom, and I open the window in the wintertime. So when I wake up in the morning, it's like maybe 40 degrees Fahrenheit in my bedroom, and I sleep like a baby. So you can imagine it's pretty rough here. Like if the power goes out, I can't barely sleep at night, like if it's warm. Like I love it freezing cold when I'm sleeping.
Mostly in those places because that's where the good paying jobs are, but it's offset by the high cost
of living. You don't need a good paying job if you don't have a lot of bills. I honestly, I've told this before and I'll tell it again here. When I was the maintenance director and life safety manager, also EVS manager, but of a nursing home facility in southern Missouri, I made $43,600 a year on salary. So every 2 weeks, what actually hit my bank account after taxes was $1,380. Now that was every 2 weeks. So every month I would make, $2,760. Now for a lot of people that sounds like nothing. But for me, my mortgage with the insurance and taxes, everything included in the mortgage, my mortgage payment was $479 a month. Okay? I had no car payments because I paid cash for all my vehicles. I had an internet bill, electric, natural gas in the wintertime. But I mean, I didn't have a lot of bills. I didn't have credit card bills, like, $2,700 a month. I lived very well. And I ate out almost every meal every day. I almost never cooked at home. I mean, you don't need a lot of money if you live in an area that has a lower cost of living. Yeah, if you want to live in LA, you're going to have to make $150,000 a year. But if you live in southern Missouri, you don't have to make that much money. There's a lot of people that work at factories that make $30,000 a year, and they do just fine. You just can't go out and buy freaking $60,000 bass boats and $30,000 side-by-sides and $80,000 trucks. If people are doing that stuff and claiming they can't afford to live, then they're stupid. It's their fault. drive a 2008 Silverado and live a happy life with, debt free. It's not that difficult. It's really not. Okay, so the windows here in this house, you mean? Because the windows here in this house are not double pane. They're not. They're single pane tinted windows. He's having a brownout.
Where? In the hall?
No, I don't know where he's from, but he's having a brownout. Luckily, right now, we're not having a brownout, so... Okay, I gotta let this brine cool off just a little bit. I don't want to put it in these cold jars just yet. So yeah, I'm not sure if you're talking about these windows, but if you are talking about the windows in this house, they were all custom made to fit every hole in the house that needs a window. They all come with screens and they're all tinted glass, but they're single pane. The glass is about 3/8 of an inch thick. And for every window in the house with installation, it was 52,000.
Yeah.
52,000 pesos. So like $850.
They give us discount.
Yeah. Legazpi City?
Manila?
I don't know.
Brownout?
Yeah. But if you're asking why double pane windows are better, I can tell you it's because there's a pane of glass and then there's an air space and another pane of glass like this. In the middle of the two panes of glass is filled with argon, like a gas. They're gas filled. And so what that does is creates an insulating value from the UV rays and the sunlight. It insulates. I don't remember what the R value is off the top of my head, but it creates an insulating property. Anytime you have an air gap, it creates an insulating property. So, and then to fill that with argon, also raises the R value and helps to keep out ultraviolet light. So, I mean, I don't know if you were asking why double pane is better, but that's why it's better. But these windows are not double pane, they're single pane. They are tinted, but... Alright. I'm going to go ahead and fill these jars. I know you guys won't be able to see it, but I can't move the phone or else it'll never go back in the same spot again.
You really don't need them with the storms. You'll be replacing them all the time.
Huh?
I said you really don't need them. You really
Don't need what?
really
Double
don't
pane
need them
windows?
living here with the storms. You'll be replacing them all the time.
I don't know. We don't really get that bad of storms here, so...
Thank you so much for answering the questions about the windows. Deal or sweet?
Not sweet.
Yeah.
I'm making dill pickles because
You can
that's
try.
another one of those things. Here in the Philippines, you can't find dill pickles. You can buy sweet pickles, but you can't find dill pickles here. Now, like McDonald's and some restaurants, Jollibee, The restaurants have dill pickles like on their burgers, but I don't know where they get them from, because you can't buy them in the grocery store.
I can only eat dill.
Yeah, I don't like sweet pickles either. Wow. This brine was exactly enough to fill all the jars empty.
That's
Okay.
our budget for 1 year.
Yeah. Now when you put these lids on, you just barely tighten. You don't tighten them too tight, because air has to escape. If air can't escape, then you're going to be in trouble. So just barely snug.
I found deals at one of the stores here.
Where's here?
Maybe in, he said, that he's from
Yeah, that's
Legazpi.
that. Yeah.
Maybe we can sell deal. Just online selling. Online selling.
Okay, now these pickles go in. Look and see what time it is.
9:45.
9:45. So at 9:55, we need to take these out of here. Ten minutes is all they get. If you leave them longer than that, you'll end up with soggy pickles, not crunchy.
Fits for?
Huh?
It fits for?
Yeah.
I paid about the same for my windows. 55,000 for 7 windows. 8,
Oh no, we got way
9,
more than 7.
2, 4, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
8,
7, 8,
10.
9, 10, 11.
Yeah, 11.
11, we have 11 windows, and every one of them has a screen except one large fixed panel, and it was 52,000 for 11 windows installed.
Because the 2,000 is discounted.
He said normally it's 54, but he gave us 2,000 off, because I asked for the friendly foreigner discount.
Looks like Tim got his ears lower.
Yeah, you'll see that in the video when it posts. Like, I've got another video. It's edited and finished rendering right now. I just need to upload it.
It all depends when you live on availability of most Western food. Yeah. It depends when you live availability of most.
Yeah, but there's some Western foods, I don't care where you live in the Philippines, you're not going to get it. Like Angus beef. You can get USDA beef, but you can't get Angus beef anywhere in the Philippines. It doesn't exist. There are some things that no matter what, you cannot get in the Philippines. Also, like real ice cream made with milk. I did see in Manila, they do have like the American like Kit Kat ice cream and stuff like that. So that is the only time I've ever seen real ice cream made with real cow's milk. The ice cream that they have here in the Philippines is not the same.
How long do you...
Security bars built into them. Yeah, I didn't go for the security bars because like I'm not that worried about it. I mean,
How long do you plan to stay in the US?
years. So right now, tentatively, the plan is I go back and then I need to work for 2 or 3 months and then I can look into applying for her visa. Once I'm settled in and get everything straightened out, get her some money sent, get everything to where it's Because there's going to be a lag time when I go back to work where I don't get paid for a couple of, weeks or whatever. And then, so once everything is, it's okay. Once everything's caught up, I can apply for a visa. But, I mean, that takes up to 2 years. So, at minimum, I have to be in America 2 years before she can come to the U.S. Then after she comes to the U.S., she has to live there for 3 years to get like citizenship or permanent resident status, whatever you want to call it. So at minimum, I'm looking at 5 years in America, at minimum. Now, maybe her and the kids will like America and want to stay longer, maybe not. I really don't know. It just depends. We'll have to see when we get there. Obviously, every year when I have vacation, I will come back here to the Philippines, but that's once per year. So a minimum of 5 years for me, 3 years for her.
I found that beef online, but frozen.
Angus beef, send me the link. Because like I said, I found USDA beef before, but not Angus USDA beef. And not only that, but in America you can get 100% grass-fed, grass-finished Angus USDA beef. You're not getting that here, unless you hire a private jet to fly it here all the way from America.
And she will have to make a few trips to Manila too.
Yeah. That doesn't bother me though, because I don't have to go, it's just her.
If you were just going back to the US for a short visit, say 2 weeks, would you still have to go through the exit process we just went through?
Yes. Yep. If you've been in the Philippines longer than 6 months, you have to do an exit clearance, no matter what. The ECCA, you have to do it after you've been here 6 months.
What? Really?
Huh?
He's the one that we have trips to Manila, we can try and
The link to the Angus beef.
I brought my wife to the US where she lived for 14 years, got the citizenship.
Yeah.
And now we're back in Philippines, we're good at retiring.
That's kind of our plan. Go to America, make a bunch of money, because I mean, what I plan to do is I plan to just stay with my mom at her house and just work and save money. Now, it might sound weird or whatever, but I've said before, and in case you guys didn't hear then, my mom's property and house are actually in my name. So what I plan to do is stockpile money, get all of this house taken care of and her taken care of. Then, over time, I will build a house on that piece of property that goes to me when she dies anyway, when my mom passes away anyway. I will build a house there. Not a super huge house, but I'll build one there. And then that way, when she comes to work, all of our money, the money that I make and the money that she makes, as I mentioned before, Southern Missouri is a very cheap cost of living area. I made it just fine on less than $3,000 US per month. Just fine, no problem. I had extra money, always. So with both of us working, I mean, you're talking $5,000 or $6,000 US per month, and our bills are only $1,500 per month maximum. So I mean, it's going to be very easy to accumulate money, and all that extra money I will split. I will put half of the extra money into my SoFi high yield savings account, and then the other half I will put into the S&P 500. So that it's not just sitting in some shitty savings account, not doing anything, losing value due to inflation. So, with both of us working, it would be very easy to accumulate. if I can keep her out of the jewelry stores. I mean, I
Oh,
don't
my,
know.
you don't, I don't have a, I mean, I'm not a materialistic.
Oh, you're not materialistic.
Yeah.
Except when you see something pretty on TikTok Shop.
Yeah,
But it's
not,
like 20 pesos or whatever.
yeah, 29.
What time is it?
10:54.
One more minute.
10, I mean 9:54.
Yeah, one more minute.
Oh, there's, typical Filipino when they come to US want to help their family out when they go to work.
I've already asked her about that.
You know my mother.
I've already told her that her family's emergencies are not my emergency or her emergency. Now, having said that, if my mother got cancer or something like that, I mean, obviously I would help her out. She has government insurance and stuff, so I wouldn't really have to that much anyway. But like if her mom gets real sick or is in some kind of a bad emergency, now if she mismanages her store and needs like 30,000 pesos to restock her store, I'm not really interested in giving that amount of money for that purpose. But if her mother was to get cancer or something like that and needed 20,000 US dollars, I wouldn't question it. I would tell her, send the money. All 20,000, you know. A million Philippine pesos, just send it. Don't ask for anything back. Tell her, here you go, get treatment and get help. Outside of her mother, she agrees the rest of her family is not really our responsibility. So.
How far will Alona have to drive to get her Filipino ingredients in Missouri?
To get what?
Filipino ingredients in Missouri.
Well, the closest Filipino market I know of is in Springfield, Missouri, so that would be about a 1 hour and 15-minute drive from where my mom lives. So, yeah, about an hour and 15 minutes. So it's not like way out of the realm of possibility, but that, you know, that is the closest Filipino market that I've seen.
So, Madam, how do you feel about leaving the Philippines? I mean, I like to go to America because I like to work. Like, I mean, we need more money. So, maybe not so happy because I have family here also. So, maybe in the snow, I don't know about snow.
Luckily in Missouri, it will snow, so you'll be able to see the snow. But the snow we get in Missouri is very rarely deeper than just like that.
Yeah, but still cold.
It's not.
Even if
Yeah,
in our
it's
room,
cold.
Even if in our room it's very cold.
Our room is never below 65 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
It gets below 0 degrees, 60 degrees colder than what our room is.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean, scared of. Scared of.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing, you can always put on more coats.
Yeah.
You can always put on more pairs of socks, like.
Amazon has lots of Asian foods.
Yeah.
So,
Not only that, but in America, you can order something on Amazon and get it the next day or 2 days later at the latest most of the time. So it's like that. Here, Shopee takes 12 days.
I know you didn't think much of Bohol, but where we are in Bohol, it's much like where your guys are here in Northeast Bohol. No tourists up here and nice rolling hills here, very rural area.
Yeah. I did go up that direction. Like I said, I went all the way up to the Sea of Clouds. That was like a 3-hour drive or something like that. So I went up in the hills and all that, and it was decent up there. It's okay.
Filipinos want fresh food. Fresh fish.
Well, I mean, where we will live is directly in the center of America, almost exactly in the middle. So let's see, the closest beach would probably be like in Texas or maybe Alabama, and that would be like, I don't know, an 8 or 10 hour drive
My God.
just to get to the ocean. Yeah, like a 10-hour drive at the shortest. Now, if you want to go to like the Pacific Ocean in California, you're driving 2.5 days. America is huge, a huge landmass. Like for sure you could fit, if you took all of the islands of the Philippines and combined them together with no ocean in between them, just into one piece of land, it probably wouldn't even be as big as the state of Texas.
We will go there once every 3 months.
Huh?
In ocean.
To the ocean?
Yeah.
We're not going once every 3 months.
Once a year?
Maybe.
Once a year we will go.
I lived in Missouri for 40 years. You know how many times I drove to the ocean? If I wasn't driving a truck for a living, the times I drove myself to the ocean is 0 in my whole life. I never felt the need to drive to the ocean. Now I did drive to the ocean several times, several places driving a truck, but never on my own. Like, what you're doing? I need to go over there and upload that video.
Yeah.
So I guess we might wrap this up here in just a minute. It really was starting to bother me, all the videos I was seeing on TikTok about like everybody complaining about the state of America and like how the Philippines is so much better, and then there's some Chinese guy that keeps saying like how great China is compared to America and all that. I'm just like, I don't understand how anybody can be inundated with all the conveniences and comforts of America and then claim that it's better anywhere else. Like, there's nowhere in the world you can go for the same price and live that high of a standard of life. Now, obviously, a high standard of life can mean different things to different people, but I'm talking 100% on a materialistic level. You know, apples to apples, dollars, you know, the amount of dollars you spend for a super comfortable leather recliner in America versus that same super comfortable plush leather recliner in Japan or here in the Philippines or wherever else. Where can you get a better life than in America? I don't know.
I wonder what the price of a good steak dinner in the US is now.
Well, I don't know about a steak dinner prepared by other people because I don't eat steak in a restaurant because I'm terrified that they're going to cook it too tough. So I go to Walmart, I get an Angus beef T-bone, and I bring it home and cook it myself. Now, I looked on Walmart the other day, and it's like $13.50 for a T-bone. You know, a pretty good sized T-bone steak, Angus beef. So, not really that expensive. Australia is more expensive than the U.S. If you compare dollar to dollar and what you can buy, you can buy a lot fancier, nicer items in America for the same amount of money as Australia. Australia is very expensive. I've heard New Zealand is very expensive also. I mean, I should say I've heard. I've heard Australia is very expensive. I've never been there, so I can't say for sure. But I mean, I can go to a furniture store in where I'm from in America, and I can get a very nice sectional sofa with 2 recliners, cup holders, and phone chargers in it for like $900. I looked at a sectional sofa in Manila or in Cebu when we were there at the mall. That sectional sofa, it was $2,000, and it didn't even have recliners in it, and it wasn't leather or anything. It was just a normal fabric sofa, a sectional, but it didn't have recliners or cup holders or nothing, and it was $2,000.
I'm from New York City. Try living here. Very, very expensive.
That's what I'm saying. Don't live there. Move somewhere cheaper. There's plenty of room in the Midwest. People in the Midwest have neighbors that are over a mile away from each other. There's plenty of room for everybody to still be spread out, but there's plenty more room for people to come in. Maybe don't bring like liberal ideology with you, or else your neighbor might come and beat the shit out of you. But other than that, you know, if you're a decent person, I don't like people to complain about the cost of living when they live in the most expensive places in America. You have freedom. Move the hell away from there.
Walmart had T-bone and they were 20 to 30. Not that cheap no more.
If I had my phone available, I would pull up my Walmart app and show you, but you can search the Walmart in Marshfield, Missouri, and look at the price of T-bones there. I guess maybe there's not a lot of people from like Missouri. I know James, like James and Karen. James is from Missouri, but he's from up north Missouri. Us southern Missouri people consider northern Missouri people like totally different or whatever, but I guess not a lot of us like are financially stable enough to like move here and talk about this kind of stuff. Because almost always the foreigners that you hear from that are saying, comparing the Philippines to America, they're always from like Florida or Las Vegas or California or New York or like all these places. You never hear someone from like Mississippi or Arkansas or Missouri. You know, you don't hear from those people very much. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if I sat down and calculated my monthly bills when I owned my house in America, I mean, my monthly bills were probably right at $1,000 per month. I mean, who can't make $1,000 per month in America? You could just about beg on the street corner and make more money than that. Yeah, you can get a different life here. I don't know if it'll be better or not. It depends on your perspective, but it'll be different, that's for sure. I'm not getting antsy or nervous. I've got everything ready to go. There's just, I mean, we have to get married, but I mean, everything's already set for that. Everything is done. There's nothing left to do. Everything's paid for. I mean, it's just a matter of waiting till the day gets here and going.
I did move out of California to the Philippines. Just rent my house out of $4,000 a month.
$4,000 a month. My God. That's someone's rent
Is that what or you meant in America?
in California.
California.
But $4,000 per month for rent.
Yeah.
Okay, if those same people that are paying you $4,000 a month to rent your house, if those people were able to make the same amount of money at a job like where I'm from in Missouri, do you know what kind of house they would live in for $4,000 per month? My God. I mean, it would be 3 stories and have 10 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms with an in-ground swimming pool. I mean, that's insane. Insane. I mean, I could pull up Zillow right now and show you lots of houses under $200,000 in my area that almost anyone could afford the mortgage on. I don't understand. I get that certain areas of the country right now, the real estate market is insane. There's lots of houses in my area that are under $200,000. 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom with a garage.
A mansion.
Oh, it would be huge. It would be huge for $4,000 a month. I mean, hell, my mortgage was, I paid $63,000 for my house because I fixed it up myself. It was in kind of rough shape. I paid, so say $60,000, and my mortgage was, just say $500 for $60,000. So multiply that by 4, so that would be $240,000. No, multiply it by 8. God, that'd be like a $500,000 or $600,000 house in Missouri. Like in Missouri, $500,000 or $600,000. My God, you could just about build a castle. I mean, Jesus Christ.
What part of Missouri are you from?
If you probably don't know, I'm from Marshfield, Missouri, which is like maybe 20 miles east of Springfield, Missouri. Marshfield, Missouri is exit 100 on I-44, so 100 miles east of the Oklahoma state line. So like southwest Missouri. Cost of living is very cheap there.
I'm from Pickles, Missouri.
Yeah. I believe that's north.
You ever vacation in the Ozarks?
I'm from the Ozarks. That's where I live.
South of St. Louis.
Yeah, south of St. Louis is northeast of me. Way north.
My house is only 100 square meter with
Square
3
feet.
bedroom, 2 bath in good area near Los Angeles, border Orange County.
That house in America, 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom, or 2 bathroom. Okay, so a 1,400 square foot, 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, with an attached 2-car garage. Okay. In my area right now, that would probably be 220 or 230,000. If it was like in excellent condition. Uh-oh.
Low back?
Yeah, the battery's getting low. So no, it's okay. We'll just end it. Okay, it's okay.
You didn't tell me.
Huh? It's still on right now, but
Yeah.
I didn't what? It's okay.
Because we're standing here.
Yeah, I know. We're just gonna end it real quick and then. Or I mean, if you don't want to end it, we can bring it over here. But
It's up to you.
stick it in, baby. Well, or I'll just do it myself.
Hold that.
Well, you can just use that.
This?
Yeah. Yeah, but I need that Bluetooth speaker to hold this up. My God. Uno momento. If we talk to them long enough, maybe we'll hear the cans pop when they seal.
Yeah. Where's the remote from the for this?
Right here.
Okay.
Okay. Did we miss some comments?
800,000 in my area.
That's ridiculous. I don't understand why people live in those areas. Move out of there.
He said, someone said, have a good rest of your day, Steven.
No, don't leave yet. We're not leaving. You just stay right where you're at. Daddy will tell you when you can go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, girl. Hey, girl, hey.
$800.
800,000 to $1 million
Yeah.
for that house in his area, and it's probably 230,000 where I'm from.
Yeah. Bought it in 1989 for 250.
250 is pretty pricey for 1989, also though.
1985
When you were born.
Yeah. I would say you're the first individual that I have watched that showed me the value of an old Filipino woman.
He called you old.
Old?
My God. Oh my God. I think he means like an older, like not a 19 or 20-year-old running around doing TikToks all day. Well, she does TikToks, but
Yeah, but maybe once a month.
no, I've explained over and over again the value of getting a Filipina that's over 30 years old, like an age-appropriate relationship with a mature individual. Not. I'm sorry, but Filipinos are immature. They are super immature. I mean, even when from the time they're children, her 12-year-old son, sometimes he wants to do things that's way above his age, and sometimes he acts like almost a baby. Like, and Filipino men especially are very immature until they get older. So a Filipino woman at 20 years old is not the same maturity level as an American woman at 20 years old. It's not the same thing. A Filipino 20-year-old is like an American 13-year-old. So I would say that even though it's legal in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of morality and common sense, those 19 or 20-year-old Filipino girls are just not mature enough to be in a relationship with an older man. It's just not, it's not appropriate.
Yes, not 19. I agree with you. Do you think you'll sell any of your pickles to the neighbors or at the market?
No, because they can't afford them.
Maybe foreigner online.
Yeah, the people here wouldn't be able to afford what I would have to sell them for.
Yeah, and they don't like.
Just the jars alone. I mean, even if they brought them back to me or whatever, it's just they just couldn't afford them.
Think you can make your own dill pickles, cucumbers, and vinegar.
Yeah, I just did. That's what I was doing.
I have been married to a Pinay for 50 years. Best decision I made in my life.
Well, I'm getting ready to find out. We'll see how the next 20 years goes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't plan to live to be too old, so we'll see. I'd say I got a good 20 years left.
How long long did you date before you two get serious?
Well, what's serious? Like before we moved in together?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Well,
From March?
let's see. We talked to each other online for about
March?
2 months.
Yeah.
And then I came here on vacation for 1 month. And we stayed together that whole time. And then I left to go back to America. I spent 3 months getting my house finished and set to sell. Sold my house and came back. And we've just lived together and been together ever since then. So I guess we talked online 2 months before.
After after you told me that you have another.
Yeah, because you weren't giving me enough attention.
I mean that I don't.
By the way, everyone says like Filipinas are like clingy and jealous and like they'll be on you all the time or whatever. I wanted that. I wanted a girl to just be in my face, constantly physically touching me all day, every day. And I was a little bit disappointed. You know, like at first she was all like, even now she is, but that kind of wears off after a while, and she's not quite as like on me as I would like for her to be sometimes, but way more than an American woman for the most part.
When Alona comes to the US, will she be able to help her family with her money if she gets a job and works?
Well, that's up to her, but she would have to answer that question.
I don't know, because even here I don't like to. Maybe in a small amount, but not like I always give. Like, no, I don't like. I just like to save money for us.
She's not one of those Filipinos that's constantly sending money or giving money to her family. That's not the case.
Maybe for my mother.
But yeah, but she doesn't ask for it
Yeah.
though. So but that's the difference between. See, I've said before, Alona and her family, I would consider in the Philippines to be middle class. If you go out and get a young Filipina, 20 years old, from the middle of the jungle somewhere, where her parents are living in a nipa hut with no electricity or whatever, those are the kind of situations where the children are expected to go out and earn money for the family. If you get like a educated, you know, Filipina, a mature, you know, over 30 years old, maybe her family is not, you know, maybe they're not middle class, maybe a little bit below, but not super poor. You're not really going to find that issue as much with like the middle class Filipina as you would just going out into the jungle and grabbing like the poorest one you can find. Like, that's what a lot of the old foreigners here, especially, that are like walking around with canes, with oxygen all the time and stuff like that, but they're running around with 25-year-old Filipinas. Those 25-year-old Filipinas are not from wealthy families. They're not from middle-class families. They're from the middle of the jungle somewhere, where options are minimal. And those are the ones that are going to be wanting to send money to their family most of the time, in my experience.
Madam, what made you choose him? Maybe like I see that you're serious, like you're responsible or mature enough to like, yeah.
Oh, that's what you saw, that I was mature? What do you think now?
When you think stuff, when you think things like that.
I've always been financially responsible.
Yeah. And then I need to make sure you are the right man, because you took so much negative about the Filipina and family.
Who does?
You. He said you talk so much negative about the Filipina and family.
Which family?
I don't know. You just talk about if there's a bad.
I talk about things that happen.
Yeah. She chose him because of his humor.
And my strong O-toots.
No, you didn't utot before. While just to impress me, he didn't utot. But now, my God, Ay, ganun. I mean, we're the same.
I don't know if I
have
talk
the same
negative
thing.
about, I mean, the Philippines definitely. I have some serious gripes with the Philippine government in particular. But
Maybe
about her family,
no
here's
jobs.
here's the thing about the family. I've interacted with her family, but I've never had a member of her family come to me out of a reason of like happiness or good things or like just coming to visit to say hi. Anytime her family comes here or has anything to do with me, I want to either borrow money, which doesn't happen very often, but it has happened before. But I shut that down pretty fast.
Oh. I mean,
It really doesn't happen that much.
yeah, they visit us and ask if we can go there to eat. Like
Nobody comes and talks to me.
maybe they just message me like they like us to go there.
Yeah, they'll
for
message you, but
party.
they don't come to the house and like bring like some drinks or something. And say, hey, let's play some cards this Friday night. It doesn't happen.
Maybe alcohol. They bring
One
it.
time. That happened one time.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's always when they come here, when I hear a knock on the door, I know that it's one of two things. Either one, they want to talk to her about something, or two, they want to borrow one of my tools. That's basically the only interaction with her family I have, is them asking me for favors. I don't remember the last time I asked one of them if I could borrow their stuff, or if I asked them for a favor. I've asked them to do things before, but I always pay them. It's never, hey, can you do me a favor and do this just because you like me? That doesn't happen. So if I talk negatively about the family members, it's only out of the experiences that I personally have had with them. Things that they have done, they've gotten their girlfriends pregnant when they're teenagers with no job. I mean, that's not a good thing anywhere in the world. It's not good. Or laying around all day with no job and not even trying to earn money, that's not good either. But those are experiences that I personally have had with these people. And it's not because they're Filipino, it's because it's the interactions I've had. If it was an American person, I would say, yeah, that American person's a lazy piece of shit. Like, I don't say that about her family members. I just say, hey, maybe instead of laying in the hammock all day, they could at least go look for some work. So I try to say it in a nice way, but I never have interactions with them where it's like they're coming to play cards or just hang out. It's always, can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? And that's just what it is.
Yes, you do. Talk about negative. It's not like you are so smart and rich or have a good job. Philippines is what it is now and forever.
That's the wrong attitude to have right out of the gate. If you're just accepting that's how the Philippines is now and that's how it always will be, that's the wrong attitude. Because there's always room for improvement. And I'm not excluding America. America needs some drastic improvement also. But it's the responsibility of the Philippine citizens to stand up and initiate change in their own country. I agree, it's not my place to do it. They're the only ones that can save themselves. But to say that they shouldn't do anything and just accept everything the way it is, that to me, that's the wrong attitude.
It's Filipino custom. The wife controls the money. Are you going to let Alona do that?
I think that she would much rather that I control the money. Because I don't know that she even understands what a high yield savings account even is. Do you know what a high yield savings account is? No. So why would I have someone control the money that's not used to controlling a large amount of money? It's not an insult to her. She's just not used to it. I wouldn't expect someone to allow me to go do brain surgery. I've never done that. How would I know anything about it? Like, It's not saying I'm not smart, it's just saying I don't know that specific thing.
Same here. Wife's family rarely ask for money or favors and usually will do some work for a few pesos.
They ask me for favors and to borrow stuff all the time. I mean, just yesterday we were talking about how Ezra's going to get to school after I leave, and there's a kid, one of her nephews that lives just across the street in her mom's house. He's got a little motorbike and he drives to school every day. But he'll take Ezra to school with him. They live right here. It's the same amount of driving. There's no extra driving at all. But he'll charge money. He'll make them pay like 100 pesos a week or something like that to take him to school and back, even though he's already going anyway. And granted, it will use a tiny fraction more gas to take two people on a motorbike than just one, but not 100 pesos. And not only that, I would think that a Filipino family would just help each other out, but it's not like that. So every time we ask them for something, we always pay or whatever. But anytime they ask us for something, it's expected that they just get to do it for free. Like borrow my chainsaw. They've borrowed my chainsaw 4 or 5 times. That I've never received a peso for that.
My brother borrowed that.
Your brother borrowed it twice. Jerome.
My mother's firewood wood.
Yeah, but it's still my chainsaw. They didn't pay me a single peso for it. But then if I want Ezra to just ride along with him to school, he has to drive that way anyway, then we have to pay for it. It just doesn't make sense.
I think they didn't borrow as a chance. Maybe tools sometimes. He didn't borrow.
Yeah, and he wants to use my incubator. Every time I have something, somebody wants to borrow it.
Things to rental and temporary.
Well, to be a tool rental, you have to charge money. You have to earn money off of the rental. But as it is right now, they just use my stuff, which lowers the lifespan of that tool, but I get no compensation for it anyway. But then I'm expected to pay them if I want them to do a favor for me.
Utang na lang. Like credit.
What credit? I get nothing.
Maybe that family. No, you have to understand and because the case changed America.
Right. We do need to change America.
Okay. The way it looks good.
I don't understand that. She knows that that there are severe problems in the Philippines. Like she gets mad about them too. She just doesn't express it as openly as I do.
What were expansions before you decided to build a house? Because I would assume you did your research. Yeah.
Expansions. I don't understand what that means. What expansions
Before you decided to build a house.
But what am I expanding?
So you have to expect that here in their eyes you are the rich foreigner. Yeah, but my mother knows that.
That's fine and dandy if they consider me to be a rich foreigner, whatever. That's fine and dandy, but it's still inappropriate to ask, even if there was a billionaire that lived down the street from me in America, it would be rude of me to go down there and ask them like to borrow their Mercedes or something like that. Like it's crazy. Like just because somebody might be wealthy, it still doesn't give you free reign to just go and take all their stuff. Like I don't know. Anyway, that's whatever.
It's expectation.
What expectation?
before you decided to build a house? Because I would assume you did your research.
Yeah, I did. Expectations as far as what? I mean, I did a lot of research on the process, how each thing is done, how the rebar columns are tied together and bent, and I mean, as far as loads and all that, the size of whether you need a 20 cm column or a 25. Do you mean expectation as far as price, or?
Maybe you mean why you choose to build a house, maybe like that. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Will you send her back to the Philippines if she don't like your family?
My family? What family? I don't really, I'm not,
Have mother and sister.
I'm not really that much of a family person. So when I live in America, for example, before I came to the Philippines, when I lived in America, right up until I left, I lived only a 1 hour drive from my mom. And I maybe saw her in person 2 times a year and maybe talked to her on the phone 6 times per year. So I'm not really that much of a family oriented person when it comes to my own family. I only have one sister, and she's a little bit on the crazy side. My dad's dead. All my aunts and uncles one lives in Chicago, one lives in Alaska. Like, I mean, I have first cousins that I've never even met before. So my family is just non-existent in America. So there's nobody for her to get along or not get along with. There's just no one.
I'm from Rock Hill, and I truly like your page. My name is Charles. I just don't understand how you expect to change things. If possible, it would be great, but a long shot.
I don't expect to change anything. I expect to inspire her or the Filipino citizens themselves to stand up and open their mouths. The Filipinos are really, really bad about just sitting back and accepting whatever happens to them without argument. They just accept everything. If they know the government is corrupt, they know politicians are doing illegal stuff all the time, they just, what can we do about it? We'll just not say anything. We'll just live in our hut and eat our rice, and like, it doesn't matter if we can't find jobs because the government's so corrupt. Like, it's okay. We'll just whatever. It's not, we don't want to say anything. That's totally the wrong attitude. If that's the way they want to be, then that's fine. They can run their country however they want, and the people are just going to be subjected to that crap for forever. Just whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Whatever. I'm always going to be an elevated citizen. Like if I come here when I'm older to live in this house, I mean it's even if the Philippines gets a little bit better, my money will still be at least triple value here is what it is in America. Like it's not.
Charles.
I really don't care either way, but I really feel bad for the Filipino people to struggle so much. I just wish that they would get a backbone.
Said I totally understand. Next time they ask to borrow tools, make them climb a coconut tree and pick 5 coconuts for you. You don't like.
I don't want coconuts. The things I want them to do, they really don't want to do without being paid.
What about your kids in America? Will they accept Alona and the kids?
My kids in America, I may see them a couple of times a year. Especially like the older ones that are adults. Maybe I would see them twice a year or something like that. It's not really, I don't know. It's not, I don't have a close family in America. My younger children, I see them a lot, like every other weekend when I'm in America. And so, yeah, they'll be around her. I think that they'll really enjoy having Ezra and Kalai for two reasons. Number one, the older one really loves computer games and all that kind of stuff, and I built him a computer before I came here, and he plays games and stuff all the time. So him and Ezra, I think, will get along really well. Now, the younger one, Augie, he is
Maybe.
he is almost like a feminine. He's so young that I would hate to call him gay, but like he was raised by basically his mom and sister. So he loves like anime cartoons and like all the girly like Japanese Asian stuff and all that. So him and Kalai, because Kalai likes all the Karami and which is part of like the Hello Kitty universe or whatever Japanese cartoons. So I mean that Augie will probably think that Kalai is some kind of a god or something. Like he will love her.
Just like Alona is doing now. She just smile and laugh to satisfy you.
Maybe.
There was a mayor close to you that spoke up and look what happened to him. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday in our video.
Okay. That's the price you pay for freedom, buddy. That's the price that Americans paid in
She
1776.
get RPG.
Every single person that signed our Declaration of Independence was signing their own death warrant. But you know what? They still did it. They still took the risk upon themselves for the betterment of society as a whole of the new country or whatever. They put their lives on the line, not for themselves, not for, their, people, but for everyone. And so why would Filipino people not be willing to take the same risk? No matter if someone is holding a gun to your head, it should not stop you from you standing up for what you think is right.
There's nothing happened to me because his car.
Yeah, he was in an up armored car anyway, so they tried to blow him up, but it didn't work. So
Yeah, and the people that ambushed them is killed. Not sure about that. They just shot an RPG at the mayor the other day.
yeah, but they didn't kill him.
Yeah.
In fact, 4 or 5 of them got killed by the
Three.
mayor's security team.
Three of them. Your teacher has a lot to do with it. The RPG. We were saying that the mayor, that's why what happened with the mayor because he's not good mayor.
I won't block somebody for having an opposite opinion. The only time I've ever blocked people is if they say like weird, like I don't know, just weird nonsense that is just crazy. Like if they say like, blue Smurfs love to kiss butterflies or like just some weird stuff. Like I would block that just because it's weird. But if someone has an opposing opinion, I'm not going to block them because that would go against the freedoms that I believe in, that I personally would be willing to die for. If the citizens of a country are not willing to die for the beliefs that they hold to be true for the future of that country, then that country is doomed. All throughout history, it has only been through extreme measures, extremism, that has caused change. It's never been, a society has never in history been changed with a slow trickle. It's always been one loud bang to start it off. It's always some extreme event. So people just, even if they're going to be killed and they know they're going to be a target, you gotta stand up and say.
Thank you guys. Have a good public and make a good couple. I hope you all will achieve everything you plan. I think you will. Why did you want to get married?
Why did we want to get married?
Why did he asked me? Why did
Oh, well, you answer it then.
Because I love him. Or, I mean, yeah, that's it.
'Cause I got the magic stick.
What else? I mean, what else? Maybe he think that I'm a scammer. That's why he asked that.
If you're a scammer, you've done a really poor job.
Yeah.
You're not very good at it.
Mhm. You remind me of a guy I went to school with. He was hilarious also. I could hang up with you and have a few laughs along with your wife. Yeah, are down to earth, and I wish everyone was.
I wish everyone was also. Unfortunately, everybody's too worried about what their neighbor has in their driveway or what the neighbor's wife said to the cousin or whatever. Everybody's worried about that politician is making, you know, stock market trades and making millions of dollars or whatever. Like, that doesn't really, it's not like they're taking money from the taxpayer and putting it in their pocket. They're using insider information for sure, which is unfair. Okay, I'll admit that it's unfair, but it's also unfair when people's parents give them $1 million to start a business. That's unfair to the rest of us that had to do everything ourselves. But life's unfair. Don't be jealous of your neighbor and just move on with your own life. So it doesn't really bother me if a politician takes 20 grand out of his own pocket and turns it into 100 grand over a weekend because he knows some information that other people don't know about. It's illegal. They shouldn't do it, but it doesn't affect my life at all.
Tim can handle it, and he answers.
No. I want to make it clear. Roy is fine. He's not being disrespectful at all. I'm not angry at him. Like
Yeah.
he's got a completely valid point of view, and I accept it.
I've been fighting bladder cancer for 8 years, and life is too short for unhappiness.
Huh?
He's been fighting bladder cancer for 8 years, and life is too short for
Yeah. Yeah, the cancer deal is a bad deal. I mean, that's rough for anybody. I don't I don't really know the difference between all the cancers or whatever, but I mean, a cancer is a cancer to me, and it's just not a good deal. I'm just getting over being sick, and I need to get a drink.
or just water.
Aw,
Oh, really?
three out of the four of them sealed already, but we didn't hear them pop.
Yeah. Did you get your answer, Sean?
That's the biggest problem in America that I can tell from the outside looking in right now, is that nobody can accept an opposing opinion. What I do in my house, I'll go ahead and be completely transparent with you guys. I don't like homosexuality, okay? I don't like to see it. I don't like to hear about it. I don't like anything about it. It's disgusting to me. I would never, if I saw a gay person or a gay couple in public, I would never say a word to them negative. I would be courteous to them. They have as many rights to live their life the way they choose as I do. When I go home, to my own home, I run my home and my life the way I see is the right way to do it. I'm not going to go over to their house and tell them to stop being gay at their house. People in America need to understand everyone has civil liberties, okay? Your rights as a citizen only go so far as to infringe on another person's rights. Everyone needs to accept everyone else and let them live the way they want to live. If they think Democratic Party is the way to go, great. I support your decision. I don't agree with it or whatever, or if you do agree with it, whatever, but I don't have to agree with you to sit down and have a meal, and enjoy someone's company. If you don't agree on politics, don't talk about politics. If you don't agree on religion, don't talk about religion. There's other things to talk about.
Yeah.
Construction, cars, women, lots of stuff. Oh, I've been to Sykeston lots of times. I used to live in Clarksville, Tennessee because my ex-wife was in the Army. We were stationed at Fort Campbell. I went through Sykeston, I don't know how, 200 times. So, but I'm not close to there. I'm probably, I don't know, 2.5 hours or something like that from Sykeston. Sykeston is southeast.
I enjoy watching you cook them good wholesome meals. Maybe cook?
Like, cook for you and the children? Or you cook for us?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
So, why did you build a house in the Philippines if you were planning to leave?
Well, I wasn't planning to leave at first. So, when the Trump tariff thing happened and screwed the stock market for like that 6 or 8 week period of time, like between January and March of 2025, it scared the hell out of me because I saw my money go from $30,000 in investment down to like $15,000 in investment. Okay, so on paper I lost half of my money overnight because of the Trump tariff thing with China, because I was invested in AMD. So after it rebounded and got back up to above my strike price, I sold all my shares and made a small profit. So I put in 30,000. I took out 30,600. Okay, so I didn't lose any money, but it scared me. So I knew, okay, I've got $30,000 here that is gonna, I could stay in the Philippines for 3 years on that amount of money. But then at the end of that 3 years, I'll have no money and nothing to show for it. So I decided I can take this $30,000 and I can build a house right now. And then I've still got, $12,000 on the side that to live on, And at that time, YouTube was just starting to pick up a little bit, and during construction, YouTube was doubling every month. It went from like $100 a month, $200 a month, to $400 a month, to $600 a month at one point. Then once construction stopped, okay, because the YouTube money was only ever just barely enough to live on, to pay monthly bills. And then, once I started to run out of money and I saw, whoa, okay, we're going to end up running out of money here, so we're going to have to just slow way down. Let's slow it down. Let's just stop for a minute. Once construction stopped and I had nothing really to video of any value, just sitting around like looking at the mountains every day, it doesn't make for good videos. But I kept trying to put out daily videos, and it was okay. They were getting 1,000 or 1,200 views a day, and that was paying $550 to $600 a month, which is just barely enough to live on here. So I could have ran that out and done that indefinitely, but it sucks. It sucks to live in the Philippines, be surrounded by all the beautiful sights, and knowing that there's places you want to go and things to do, but you spend every single day sitting in the house doing nothing because the YouTube money was barely enough to pay all the bills. So there was no money for traveling or going and doing fun things or anything like that. Nothing. Just staying home, paying for the bills, and that's it. So at a certain point, I just looked at her and I said, look, we can do this forever. As long as YouTube will pay, I can stay here and do this forever. Or we can bite the bullet. I can go back to America and I can make a bunch of more money. I can finish this house like that. Like within 4 months of being in America, this house will probably be finished. Okay? Finish the house, send them plenty of money to live on and all that kind of stuff. I get a small break from the Philippines because honestly, it's wearing me a little bit thin. I miss the food in America. I miss some of the amenities and comforts. So I need to go back and recharge myself and my bank account. And so I didn't originally intend on building the house and then instantly leaving. That wasn't the plan. That was a decision that was made after the house was basically finished and we were living here, and I'm looking around doing nothing every single day. And it's like, well, if I'm just going to sit here and do nothing every single day, I could do that in America and make 3 or 4 grand a month. So what I might as well do that and then bring her. Also, the school system here has just pissed me off. The way that they run the schools here and the education system here sucks. The kids, for the grade that these children are in, they should know a lot more information than what they know compared to an American student. So I decided, and at the same time, I can go back, make a bunch of money, I can apply for them to come with me so that I can enjoy the comforts of America, the delicious food of America, the high income earning potential of America, and also I can have my family come with me and be in America with me. Okay? And then after a period of time, when we decide to come back, we have a completely finished house ready to go. So it was a decision that was made out of not necessity, but urgency more than any kind of plan that was pre-had. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Have you ever thought about writing a book? Your experience in life is interesting, your honesty is worthy.
Well, to write a book, you really need to know like the structure of writing and all that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've had an interesting life, but not one that's extraordinary. I have a pretty common story, probably. There's been a couple of tragedies in my life, and you know, some things have happened that are crazy. But I mean, other than that, you know, the common American probably has roughly the same story. I don't know.
Did you talk to her about this before you built the house?
I didn't talk to what about going back to America.
I don't know, maybe the house before that you will build a house like that. I don't know.
Well, of course we talked about building the house, but there was no discussion about going back to America at that point because I still had plenty of money on the side, plus the money to build the house, and I knew that YouTube would do okay because I've done YouTube for like 13 years. Okay, I've had periods of time where I really tried at it, and periods of time where I didn't care at all about it. And I kind of knew what to expect on the success of the YouTube or whatever.
But she seems to be very reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, she's reasonable unless we talk about certain subjects. I cannot talk to her about Duterte. Can't do it. She sees Duterte as a hero of the Philippines that cleaned up Davao, cleaned up crime, attacked the drug dealers and got rid of drugs for the most part and all that. And I basically see him as a murderer. So I mean, that's one thing that we just can't.
Oh, because she's. I bet you'll have 10,000 cucumbers. You're still planning on making pickles.
I just made pickles. At the beginning of this live stream, I was over there canning the pickles.
Wait.
Your sister is here. What does she want? If she wants to borrow something, tell her no. Or 50 pesos. Now you living alone. Family that live in the hut. We're gonna move there. That's no thing. You'll see. No, won't happen. It won't happen in this circumstance. And I would be willing to put a large amount of money in an official public bet between Maridel Rosillo, whatever that name is, between you, that individual, and myself on a public forum with an online notary. I would make a very large bet against you that will not happen. So this person is saying that your family members that are living more poorly, like your grandmother and uncles that live without electricity, as soon as I leave, that they're going to move in here to the house with you.
No. They didn't. My God, they didn't live there with us.
Yeah.
When my father is still alive. So no, they won't.
Yeah, I that in this circumstance,
impossible.
I know her, and it
Yeah.
will not happen.
It's impossible. But if they will like to, no, I don't like them to. Maybe we will. There's a big house there, so they can live there.
Yeah, her mom has a 2-story house right across the road.
But
Like
here, no way.
all of the people with no jobs and like just want to lay around or whatever, they all stay over there.
Yeah.
All right, Roy, take it easy. I do appreciate your point of view. I'm not kidding. Like, I can get along with people that I don't see everything the same way, and some people can't. So, but yeah, and I mean, the person, how do you say that name?
Maridel? Yeah, Maridel.
Yeah, if you're willing to place a large wager of 5,000 US dollars that says relatives will not move into this house when I leave, then I would be willing to go online with a notary and actually make a legal binding bet with you against that. I honestly, let's do it. If you have $5,000 US anyway.
Even they are sick. Even my father, just stay here because you're sick. No, they don't want.
I'm telling you, their family is not destitute. It's like a middle class family. They're not. Yeah, the only thing about passive income is like everybody says passive income. Everybody says you need passive income. Passive income. Well, the problem with passive income is how the hell do you create passive income? I mean, you can get rental properties and stuff like that, but that's not really passive. The true definition of passive income is you do something or set up some system to where you never ever have to touch it again. It's making you money while you sleep. Passive means you don't interact with it at all. So like if you sell call options or trade options or do, daily trades on the stock market or something like that, some people call that passive income, but that is active income. That's not passive. So it's very hard to do passive income. The only real way that I can think of to do real passive income is like an e-store that automatically fulfills from a shipping thing on its own, or if you just have an extremely large sum of money, like 1 million US dollars, and you put that into a high yield savings account that pays monthly payments, then you could just set it and forget it and forever. So with 4% APR or APY on a high yield savings account, $100,000, So that would be $40,000 per year. Or no, 4%, maybe 20,000 per year. I'm not sure, but it would be at least, $1,500, maybe $2,000 per month in interest gained from the $1 million in the high yield savings account on its own. And you would never have to touch it ever again. You just receive that amount of money every month. That, in my opinion, is what passive income is.
Can I borrow some?
Stop borrowing my stuff! Why not let the relatives
Move in.
It would be a good thing.
Yeah, they just don't
No,
like.
it wouldn't be a good thing. I don't want a bunch of people. Here's the problem. Filipinos are good natured. I'm not saying that they purposely destroy stuff, but I've seen it from her children. I've seen it from other Filipinos that they don't think about stuff before they do it. Like how hard they shut doors, or how hard they twist knobs, or how it is they walk across something or sit on something. They're not used to using like certain fancier items or things, and so they just climb all over stuff. But they've done that their whole lives. Everything they're used to is built out of bamboo or concrete or something like that, and it doesn't matter if you kick your feet on it or shove on it or do something, rough. But the things that are in my house, I'm not saying they're fragile, but at the same time, I don't want people all up and in here that aren't used to being around, things that you can't just rough around. All of my stuff will be broken. Everything in here would be broken if all the cousins moved in here and stuff like that. In a matter of 6 months, like drawers would be snapped off, handles would be broken, doorknobs would be probably jarred loose. My computer chair is already broken from Ezra climbing all over it with his feet. Ezra stands up with his feet on the toilet seat to poop and squats like with his feet on the toilet seat. He already broke one of the new toilet seats. That's what I'm saying. They're not used to using things appropriately like modern, like sophisticated people or whatever. It's not a detriment to them. They're just not raised that way. And so when he stands up on the toilet, he's not doing it because he wants to do something bad. It's just what he's always done, and nothing bad has ever happened from that before. But now we have a 2.5-month-old toilet that already has a broken seat because he wants to climb all over it. So no, I don't want people like that all climbing all over my stuff. Would you need to finish your house? About 5,000 US. About 5,000 US dollars would finish the house completely. Right down to the paint. Everything done.
Yeah, with that garage.
Yeah, with the parking area, the roof deck, everything. 100% complete, $5,000. That's why I say it only take maybe 3 or 4 months of being in America, and this will probably be finished. I mean, it's really not that much. And especially because I can live so cheaply in America.
We'll see.
Yeah, 70% chance of rain.
83%.
Yeah, starting at about 1. Yeah, between noon and 1 is the best chance.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It is getting a lot cloudier, so hopefully it'll rain. If it does rain, I'm going to grab the video camera and an umbrella, and I'm going to go watch. Yeah, I don't care if it rains for 6 hours. I'll take a damn chair down there, and I'll watch the beautiful water trickle into our well, filling it with life-restoring aqua. Too big.
Too big, like too big, not too big.
Too big.
There's still a lot. Maybe there's no snow.
Well, yeah, it's not snowing everywhere. Yeah, so I mean, when I'm in America, I mean, I have no rent to pay, no car payment. The only bills that I will have is I'll pay the household bills while I'm there, like the electric bill. There's no water bill because it's a well. It's out in the country. So I'll pay the electric bill and like my phone bill, which is like $40 a month, and I'll have to get Starlink, which is $125 a month in America. I mean, my monthly bills, including food, are like $800, like maybe.
You alone? Oh no, with Mackenzie
Huh?
before there.
Well, I had a house payment and more bills there, but
Yeah.
as soon as I can, though, I plan to build a house on that property in America. The problem is, like with, definitely I want to get this house done 100% first. The first thing I want done is I'm going to have an actual well driller with a drilling rig that drills an actual like 4-inch, with a drill rig, and have them drill down inside the well that's already there until they hit actual water, actual flowing groundwater.
And the rain.
Hmm. I'll still have the rain go into the well because the groundwater is going to be from the top of the well. The groundwater that replenishes itself is past the bottom of where the well is now.
Mm-hmm.
So if we stop the rain from filling the well up, that well will always be 40 feet completely empty. And the water will be way down in the bottom. You won't run out of water. You'll always have water.
Yeah.
But the water will be way down there in the bottom. So why not just still let the root... We already have the pipes made or whatever. I'd rather the well be full of water than just be completely empty. Like for safety's sake and like bugs and stuff like that, I would just rather it be full of water. And then that way, if we do get it put in an in-ground swimming pool or something like that, we can actually fill the swimming pool with well water without draining every bit of water that we have out of it. Even though it would take a long time to fill a pool, but...
Mm-hmm. Your wife seems to be very helpful and speaking of the day.
I know, right? I know, right?
Are you going to be able to take care of 2 families and save money?
2 families? What other family do I have to take care of?
Maybe you meant your other...
My 2 younger children?
Yeah.
I pay my child support. And I'll be honest with you guys, I have a very low amount of child support to pay. I didn't get drugged through the ringer in either one of my divorces. It was totally fine. I only pay $125 per month per child. So I only pay $250 a month in child support. I mean, that's almost nothing. I mean, compared to what some people have to pay.
Here, 15,000.
Yeah, I pay less than that for 2 children. Now, obviously, if they need like new shoes or like birthdays and Christmas and all that stuff, I always give extra money on top of that if something comes up. They know that if they need something that they can ask me, and I usually, if it's a good enough reason, I will go ahead and do it, because I realize the child support amount that I have to pay is very, very affordable and low compared to other people. So it's not really taking care of 2 families, I don't know how to explain it. I live so affordably in America that it's very easy to earn enough money to have so much extra. I don't even know how to explain it. Even including my child support money, in America, I will be living on $1,000 per month, or even maybe a little less.
With
Huh?
with us.
No, not including what I will send to take care of you guys. So, including what I will send to take care of you guys, so 1,000 to take care of myself and my child support and all that stuff in America. 1,000 for that. Then I know what it costs per month for the bills here. And they won't spend as much as what I've spent on electricity, especially, and also food. They won't buy the same foods that I require. Her and the children in this house can probably pay all the monthly bills for $300. I mean, I spend a lot of money on the type of foods that I like to eat.
Depends on the value of it.
Right.
Based on the life.
Well, yeah, that too, but I'll say $500. $500 a month to take care of them and their bills. Easy. And they'll have extra money out of that $500. So $1,500. So the job I'm looking to go to when I get there is paying $25 an hour. So for 40 hours, that's $1,000 a week minus taxes, so $800 a week. That just call it $3,000 a month. So right off the top, that's $1,500 extra per month. Just extra money for nothing. And so I'll send an extra $1,000 per month to put towards, finishing the house. So 4 months, maybe 5 months tops, this house is completely done. And then I'll go back to and then I still have another $500 extra dollars per month on top of that. So, and then once the house is done, it goes back to $1,500 extra per month. And so, all of that will be going into a high yield savings account where it draws interest, or into the S&P 500, probably a split, do both. That way the money is earning money and just accumulating. I mean, it's really not that difficult. I don't understand why people have such a hard time with finances. It's not that difficult. And nowadays, $25 an hour is not that great of a job. It's not. So, I mean, if I can do it, I don't see where everybody's struggling. It's just a matter of how affordably you can live. And yeah, I understand I won't have a rent payment, and that's a big portion of it. But everyone can be in that same situation. I mean, I owned a house in America before I came here. Everyone can be in that same situation if they just put 4 or 5 years of effort into, accumulating some sort of a asset. It's really not that difficult. And then once she and the children come to America, my God, I mean, that's a lot of extra money. $3,000 extra per month just to put into savings.
If I have work.
Oh, you can find a job easy in America. People say that it's not that easy to find a job nowadays. In the area that I'm from, you can go to any factory, boat factory. You could go to any, like nursing home, are always hiring CNAs. You can walk into any nursing home facility in the state of Missouri, and as long as you don't have like felonies and stuff like that, and you can pass the little CNA class, they'll hire you on the spot, and you'll start out at 18, 19, maybe $20 an hour. I mean, anybody can. All these guys and girls that are saying it's so hard to find a job in America nowadays. Anybody can go right off the street and go into truck driving school. Company paid, company sponsored truck driving school. Then you have a place to live, you don't have any rent, and you make a decent amount of money. Okay? Or you can walk into any nursing home and say, I want to be a CNA, and you've got a job. What's hard about that? How is it hard to find a job? I don't get it. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit hungry for lunch, so we'll probably kind of give you guys a couple of minutes to get caught up and say some things if you have some final comments, and then we'll probably go ahead and end this. My voice is about to give out anyway. Let me do what I want to do. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and end this. I'm going to go eat lunch or whatever. And I guess that's it. But I'll start the video uploading. It'll be uploaded 4 or 5 hours from now, so that'll be it.
Yeah. Oh,
You're good?
God bless you. Yeah. God bless you. Very good.
Alright guys, take it easy.